Putram atra surupam Rupam tasakacha muri puri Maturim Ushratim Radha Kunda Girivadam Ahoradika Bhadavasam Rapto Yasya Pratita Kripaya Shri Guru Tannatos Gurave Gauda Chandray Radhikayitray Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namah Anandalilamaya Vigrahaya Hema Bhaddivyatschami Sundaraya Tasmai Mahaprema Rasapradaya Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste Bhaktya-vihina aparada dakshe Chiltasya kamarito rangamati Kripa-mayitam shanam prapanna Vrindavana Janaragindam Vrindavana Janaragindam Govinda Namo Dharamadaveti Govinda Namo Dharamadaveti Govinda Namo Dharamadaveti Govinda Namo Dharamadaveti Everyone Hey Krishna Hey Radha Hey Govinda Namo Dharamadaveti Sham Sundar Shikhanda Shikhar Smaraha Smurli Manara Radhikaras Kamama Kripanate Supriyacharna Kinkurim Kuru Tavaivasmi Najivami Tvaya Vina Iti Vikyaya Devi Tvam Namam Charantikam. First of all, I have my Sastantangavat Puspanjali, my heart like flowers thousands and thousands of times at the lotus feet of my holy master, my supremely worshipable spiritual Gurudev, Asmatiya Paramaradhatama Guru Pada Padma, Nityalila Pravisht Om Vishnupada Ashtotarasata Sri Rupanugacharyavari Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami. Secondly, I offer my pranam thousands of times at the lotus feet of my Param Gurudev, to Srila Prabhupada, and to all of our Sri Rupanuga Gaudiya Guru Parampara. And finally, I offer my pranam to all the assembled Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis, Vanchakalpaturvasya, Vasanjabhaya, Puritanam, Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo. By the course of Smasya Sri Guran Karanga. Now we're coming to the end of our third day. There'll be another program tomorrow morning, but we're coming to the end of our third day discussing Vrindavana Amrita, the nectar of Vrindavana. What is this extraordinary transcendental Dhama? our Srila Narottam Thakur, he said, Gauranga bolite habe Pulaka shariramo Hari Hari bolite na Yane babeniyo. He wants to enter into the Nitya Seva of Radha Krishna in Vrindavana, but how will it be possible? Aradito navadamam bradakanante naradito navadanam braja eva dure. Aradito dvijasuta brajanagaraste naradito dvijasuta nataveya Krishna. Prabhupada Saraswati Thakur said, if a person will take shelter and worship Navadvip Dham, then they will attain Brajakana, the forests of Braja. If a person will not worship Navadvip Dham, then they will be very far away from that transcendental Vrindavan Dham. Naradito Dvijasuto, if someone will not worship Dvijasuta, the son of a Brahmin, Jagannath Mishra, his son, Sachisuta, Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu, then he will not attain the service of Sri Krishna in Ujjvala Rasa, in the shining, most brilliant Madhur Rasa, the romantic mood. But if someone will worship Sri Sachinandan Gohari, only then Brajanagaraste, they attain Sri Krishna as their Pran Priyatam, their most dear beloved in the Parakya mood. So Gauranga Balite Hobe Pulakasya. When will that day come? When calling of the name Gauranga, my hairs will stand on end, and uttering Hari Hari, tears will flow from my eyes. The dhvani, the suggestion of the verse, is Tadasmasaram Ritayam Bhatedyam Yad Griyamana Hinamadeya Navikritetat Yadavikaro Netrejalam Gatra Ruheshwahasha. In Srimad Bhagavatam he said, that heart is harder than stone of that person who, despite repeatedly chanting the holy name with concentration, his hairs don't stand on end. The tears don't flow from his eyes and his heart does not melt. The indication is Durdaiva Mikdashamiha Janinanuraga. I am not feeling the separation from Krishna in his chanting of the holy name. Due to Durdaiva, I have committed many offenses. So first thing, take shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. Bahu Janne Jadi Kare Shravana Kirtan Tabutana Hare Krishna Pari Premadhan. You can chant Hare Krishna for many lifetimes, but still Krishna Prem will not come. Why? Krishna Namakari Aparadara Vichar, the holy name of Sri Krishna, takes consideration of whether one is committing aparads or not. But Chaitanya Nityananda Nahi Esaba Vichar Nam Laile Prema Dena Bahaya Sudha. The names of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, they don't consider offenses. If someone will chant the names of Gauranitai, then very soon they'll become free from the aparad, which makes the heart as hard as stone. And then tears will flow from their eyes. So in the first verse, Srila Narottam Thakur is lamenting, alas, alas, I am a great offender. And though the holy name of Sri Krishna is extremely madhur, madaram madaram etan mangalam mangalanam, the sweetest of the sweet. But still, I'm not tasting that because I'm a great offender. And so he's lamenting for this. This is the beginning of spiritual life. Kripa nimittam tapa. When Krishna's mercy comes to us, the first sign is that we feel ashamed. We lament, we repent, we feel contrition. This is the sign. Then one enters into spiritual life. That's why in Diksha, The first samskara diksha is called tap. In the old days it used to be, they would take an iron brand with the mark of the symbols of Lord Narayan and put it in a fire. And then the first anger of diksha, you have to be branded, tap, burnt. But this is symbolic. It means that our heart has to be burning with repentance. That is the first stage of entering into spiritual life. That the heart is burning. Alas, Hari, Hari, Bifale Janam Kohinu, Manusha Janam Paya, Radha Krishna Napajiya, Janiya Shunya Pisha, Kohinu, Hari, Hari, Bifale Janama Kohinu. Oh Hari, Hari, I have wasted my life. I attained this rare human birth, but I have not engaged in deep bhajan of the lotus feet of Radha and Krishna. Though I knew better, if someone will take poison by accident, then this is not good. But if someone will take poison deliberately, then how unfortunate is that person? Knowingly. I am that person. I have knowingly drunk poison with my mind, senses, activities, engaged in worldly activities, when actually I am a soul, eternal spiritual soul. My occupation, only occupation, exclusive occupation, Jaiva, Dharma, the Dharma of my soul is loving service to the Supreme Lord. But I have lost my time. Alas, alas. So in the first verse here, Gauranga Balitya, Srila Narottam Das Thakur is lamenting the burning of regret in the heart. Then one sincerely takes shelter of the service of Sri Guru. Arakobe nitai chande karuna hoibe sansara basana mora kabe tutcha habe. Oh, Arakobe nitai chande. When will Nitai Chand Nityananda Prabhu give his mercy to me? Someone may say, but where is Nityananda? I don't see him. Nityananda Prakash. Yadyapi Amara Guru Chaitanya Das Tatapi Jinya Ami Tahara Prakash. Though I know my Guru Dev is the servant of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but I also see him not only as a Vaishnava, but the Prakash. That is the direct manifestation of the Akhanda Guru Tattva Nityananda Prabhu himself. Giving us a chance to become connected, to be engaged in the service of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Sri Guru is Akhanda Guru Tattva, the manifestation of Akhanda Guru Tattva Sri Nityananda Prabhu. So when we serve fully by body, mind and words, completely absorbed, completely dedicated in the service of Sri Guru, then what happens? Samsara basana moro kabe tuschahabe. Samsara basana. That means our eyes are like cameras running all the time, in every life, recording everything that we see and everything that we do. And those recordings are kept in our subconscious mind. They're there in the chitta. And they are being triggered at every moment in our life, wherever we're going. Those impressions are coming into our conscious mind in the form of vasana, desires. So the desires which fill our consciousness, they are the echoes of past activities. They are the awakening of previous sanskars, previous impressions. So foolishly, in our ignorance, we think, oh, what will I do today? I'm completely free. I can do this, I can do that. But every thought which is coming into the mind is not your independent free will. That is the samsara basanas appearing and dictating. Soul is like in a sleeping condition, and whatever is churning, the samsara basanas are churning in the mind, is dragging him through lifetime after lifetime in this material world. When Sri Guru tells us, engage in bhakti in this way, We try to do it, but these vasanas are taking us to engage in other activities. Then our bhakti is not pure. It is not anya-bilashta shunyam, jnana-kama-anavritam, free from even the slightest scent of any worldly desire, but rather it is mixed. It is in the jumble. And when the consciousness is clouded with the samsara vasanas, then we have no spiritual vision. But when the devotee dedicates himself to Guru Seva, then at that time, the degree to which the honor, the respect, the reverence for Sri Guru is offered up, to that degree the kripa, the mercy of Sri Krishna, coming through the cloud of Krishna's mercy, Sri Guru comes down to us and washes away the influence of the samsara vasanas. All worldly desires, they go away. Then we become free from pap. Free from pap, no more bad habits at all. So then, Srila Chaitanya Thakur is saying, Vishaya chodiya kabe shuddha habe maha kabe hamahe rabo Sri Vrindavan. Now we're coming to the point, because we're discussing what is Vrindavan, how to attain Vrindavana. Vishaya chodiya kabe. When will I give up all attempts to exploit or seek comfort in the physical plane, grossly or subtly, even in the mind? When a person first begins to practice bhakti, sadhana bhakti, it destroys pap, sins, but some impressions of sins are still there in the chitta. And so even though one may be restrained from any worldly activities, but some internal tastes for the world, some dreams, some thoughts are still there. So the consciousness is still clouded. There's still no chance to see Vrindavan. So Srila Narottam Das Thakur is saying, Vishaya chodiya kabe shuddha habe man. When will my mind become free from those traces that is called the papa beach? Not the sins, sinful activities, but the papa beach, the seed of sins. Some impression is still there. How will it go? Ruchihi papa beach nashad madhurya anubhavaha. Only one way. By engaging in hearing, chanting and remembering with nishta, with steadiness, with fortitude, without interruption. Then, from this nishta, gradually, these papa beach, seeds of sin, will be destroyed, and then ruchi appears, taste. That ruchi is the madhurya anubhav, the realization of the sweetness of Krishna's name and form and qualities begin to become, now the heart is clear enough to have some internal perception of the reflection of the beauty of Sri Krishna in the mirror of one's chitta. So when the Vishaya chodiya kabe shuddha habe man, when my mind is a shuddha, purified, then kabe hama heraba Sri Vrindavan, then we can see Vrindavan. So don't think that just by getting a ticket and a visa and jumping on a plane that you can see Vrindavan. But one will have to follow bhakti like this, and then the experience of Vrindavan will come. But it's still not enough. Why? Srila Narottam Das Thakur then says, Rupa Raghunatha Pade Hoi Liye Behakuti Kabe Hama Puja Bose Yugala Piriti. Then, when will I follow the bhajan pranali? The process of bhajan, hearing and chanting and remembering the sweet Harikatha, coming in the line of Rupa and Raghunath, Srila Rupa Goswami Pad, and his most prominent Rupanuga follower, Srila Raghunath Das Goswami. When I'm eager to follow them, outwardly in my life and internally to follow their moods, Also, then, Kabe Hama Bujabo say Yugala Priti. Then I will be able to experience. Here, understand doesn't mean then I'll be able to get some theoretical ideas. It means then I will realize the sweetness of Yugala Priti, the love between Radha and Krishna. The love of Krishna for Radhika, and the love of Radhika for Krishna, and the love of the Sakhis for Radha and Krishna, and the love of Vrindavan for Radhika and Krishna and the Sakhis. This is all one non-dual reality, one total reality. Tina chana ekacholata eso arta vichar vihari beheni daso antara nitya vihar. Just like the chana dal is in a pot, and there are 3 dal beans in there. Radha and Krishna and the Sakhis are all together in Vrindavan. This is one reality, one inseparable reality. Srinathanda Thakur is saying, Rupa Raghunatha Pade, Hoive Akuti. When will they be eager to follow Rupa and Raghunath? Because, quite frankly, if Srila Rupa Goswami had not appeared in this world, then the treasure that Mahaprabhu had brought, no one would be able to access it. Yankali Rupa Shriranandarata Tam Braja Prema Mahaniri Kutarika Kona Kapata Udgarata. If Rupa Goswami Pad had not appeared in this world, though Chaitanya Mahaprabhu brought to the world the treasure chest of the ecstatic sweet love of Vrindavan, but that treasure chest had a lock on it. And the key, he left it with Srila Rupa Goswami. Ko Janata Mathura Vrindavana Ko Janata Brajanita Ko Janata Radha Madhavarati Ko Janata Sari Prita. The famous poet Madhav Das is saying, if Rupa Goswami had not opened the treasure chest of love that Mahaprabhu had brought to this world, then Ko Janata Mathura Vrindavan, who would have understood the nature of this Vrindavan? Ko Janata Braja Nita. That means Braja Niti. You know what Niti means? Niti means ethics. What is the proper way of behaving? What is the proper method of interaction between people? This is called Niti. But no one would have understood Braja Niti. The way of interaction, the Ragatmik Paripati, Ragatmik Bhakti Shaili, the ways of expression of the Brajabasis. Because they have love. And the person whose heart is not overflowing with the Vishuddha Prem cannot understand the behavior. Vaishnava Kremudra Vigna Nabuja, even a very learned scholar, cannot understand the activities of pure Vaishnava. In their sadhak form, what to speak of in their siddha forms as the eternal associates of Radha and Krishna. The reason is this. Prema dvayo rasikayo ai deepa eva ridveshma basayati nishkala eva bhati dwara dayam badanam astu bahispitaschet nirvati shigram athava labutam upaiti. Radharani herself explained that love is like the flame of a candle, which is inside a cottage at night. So if you look at night at that cottage, it looks beautiful because you see the light shining out through the lattice windows. And there, this lamp of love is Nishchala Eva Bhati, is unflickering, very steady. So in the same way, if a person, they have prem in their heart, then it's shining out through their eyes, through their face. And that love, it cannot be expressed in words. Just as if you take the candle out of the cottage, then what will happen? The wind will blow. It may flicker or may go out. So the pure love is not expressed in words. It is kept protected, kept hidden, but it's understood through the glances, through the eyes, through the suvilas, the expressions. So in Vrindavan, though everyone has pure love, they don't directly express it, but it comes out in the opposite way. In Bhagavatam it is said, Yasmin viruddha gatyo yanisham patanti. It is the nature of the Supreme Truth, that the Supreme Absolute Truth is the viruddha dharma ashraya, the shelter of contradictory characteristics. Krishna is viruddha dharma ashraya, the shelter of all contradictions. Radhika is the shelter of all contradictions. And her praying, Vibharapi kaliyan sada vibridhim, Gurapi Gauravacharya Bhina, Mu Upachikavat Krim Apishuto, Jayati Muradvishi Radhika Anuragaha. Oh, amazing! How wonderful is the Anuraga of Srimati Radhika, even though her love is all pervading everywhere, having no room to expand. But still it expands. How is it possible to expand if it's already everywhere? Ruddha, another level, internal. Adiruddha, another level. So full of contradictions. Gurapi Gauravacharya Bhina. Even though the prem, the love of Radhika is the heaviest. But she'll never say, I love you. She'll never express it because of humility. Premara swabhavadyaha, premara sambandha, saimani Krishna mohi nahi prema gandha. It is the nature of prem that when someone has a loving relation with Sri Krishna, that person feels, I have no love at all. So how can it be expressed? I have love, I love you. Because love is a thirst. Prema mai trishna. It is a thirst. But that thirst is an unquenchable thirst. Can you imagine if you have an unquenchable thirst? You drink 1 liter, 2 liters, 3 liters, and you feel what? As if you drank nothing, not even a drop. Because the desire is there, the thirst is there to please the beloved, but it doesn't matter how much you serve, how much you please, you always feel it's not enough. So though Radhika's prem is the heaviest and the greatest, superior to all the gopis of Vrindavan, but she's completely devoid of pride. And though that love is pure, if a person is pure, their behavior is straightforward. But though the love is the most pure, behavior is very crooked. Everything is done and said in a hidden way, a covered way. Raso gupta eva rasatvam apadyate. When rasa is hidden, then it becomes more relishable. Prakshamma macha priyam, Sri Krishna said, the indirect expression is very dear to me. Rasa is never open. Rasa is always covered. Then it's more relishable. So Radhika knows how to please Sri Krishna. The whole of Vrindavan, Sri Krishna himself, and the prem of the Brijvasis is the embodiment of this viruddha dharma, contradictions. When Mother Yashoda was binding Krishna with a rope, on the one hand, Sri Krishna is unlimited. All the millions of universes are in the belly of Krishna, but Mother Yashoda took one rope from her hair and bound him. So Krishna has parichinnata, that means he's limited, and also vibhuta. Parichinnata and vibhuta, limited and unlimited, same time. How is it possible? This is the nature of Supreme Lord. So as Sri Krishna is full of contradictions, so this Brajaniti, this way of behavior, the love of Brijvasis is also full of contradictions. Even though this Leela is the absolute truth, everyone is always lying. Although this Leela is most merciful, everyone is mercilessly teasing each other. Although this plane is the plane of complete harmony, everyone is competing with each other all the time. And though this plane is the plane which is immutable, it is the immutable plane. But in this love, everyone is unexpectedly changing their moods and behaviors all the time. It's very astonishing. How they're lying, how they're teasing each other. We'll discuss in different rasas. First of all, Vatsalya rasa. Mother Yashoda, she's feeding her Lala, her baby. She's thinking he's becoming somewhat skinny. He should take more. But if she said take more, he won't eat more. So then she turns to his brother Balaram and holds his sika and says, "Oh Kanaya, look, Balaram's choti is so fat, but yours is so thin, lean and thin, because you're not eating enough butter." Then Krishna is now in competition, because competition is the nature. He's in competition. Oh, his choti is so fat. So then Krishna is eating butter. And then he says, "Oh Maya, is my choti fat now?" Yes, it's very good. So in this way, Mother Yashoda, she's lying. Why? Out of Prem. Out of love for Krishna. Krishna is going to the houses of Braja Gopis, stealing their butter. Why? To tease them. Krishna is going and teasing them. Then they're competing also. Because Krishna is stealing the butter, then the next time that Gopi thinks, "Oh, I'll hide my butter in a higher place." Then Krishna is stacking up so many boxes and grinding mortar and climbing on top of them to reach it. They try to hide their butter every day in more and more inaccessible places. So Krishna and the elderly gopis, they're competing with each other. Krishna is teasing them by stealing, and they're competing with him by trying to hide their butter here and there. Then, when they find out that Krishna has stolen their butter, what do? Then all these ladies, they show up at the house of Mother Yashoda. "Oh Sakhi, you know what a rogue your son is? He's coming into my house and stealing." And they're complaining about him. What is this? Chal. All lies. It's true, but it's not true that they're upset. If he didn't come to their house, they would be upset. They're overjoyed that he came to the house. But on the pretext of the complaining to Mother Yashoda, they're coming and telling, "You know what your son does? Sometimes he's pinching my baby and making my baby cry." Why? That means that some of the elder gopis, they have a little girl. So Krishna is already teasing the gopis when they're babies in the cradle. He's kind of pinching them and making them cry. But these elderly gopis are coming and speaking to Mother Yashoda. They're complaining to Mother Yashoda as if they're upset. But they're not upset, they're very happy. So this is lying, chow. And they do it especially when Krishna's there. Because when they give the long list of all Krishna's crimes and offenses in front of Krishna, they want to see him becoming afraid and hiding behind his mother. So by complaining, they're teasing him to get some reaction from him. Mother Yashoda said, "Oh no, I don't believe, my boy wouldn't do a thing like that. How can you say, it must be someone else?" Mother Yashoda is also lying. Because she's just trying to stop her child becoming traumatized by all these complaints. Everyone is lying. And then when she said, no, my boy couldn't do that. No, he's a good boy. And then after that woman leaves the house, then Yashoda comes to her son. Kanaiya makan ki chori chori, Kanaiya main samjhau tay. Kanaiya makan ki chori chori, Kanaiya main samjhau tay. Main samjhau tay, Kanaiya main samjhau tay. Makan ki chori chori, Kanaiya main samjhau tay. Now lag gaya Nanda Baba ko, now lag gaya Nanda Baba ko, listen. Try to understand. Because he's only about 2.5 years old. Try to understand. Stealing is wrong. You have to give up stealing. Stealing is wrong. Do you understand? I'm trying to make you understand. You know that your father, Nanda Baba, has 9,900,000 cows. They give milk every day. Our house is full of butter. Why are you stealing from the neighbors? Yes, yes, mother. Yes, yes. I know, but I cannot check myself. Why? Because see, Krishna is Premavasa, is controlled by love. All those gopis, they have so much love for him. He cannot help it. He has to go there and tease them by stealing in their house. Sometimes Krishna is playing in the evening and it's time to come back to take dinner with Nanda Maharaj. Nanda Maharaj is waiting. So Madhya Yashoda sends Rohini, oh go and tell Krishna to come back. So Rohini comes, Kanhaiya, come on, you have to go. She went back, she didn't come, so go again. Oh Kanhaiya, come on, your father is waiting. When he heard your father is waiting, then he thought, oh, I can't keep my father waiting, I should go. Then Krishna's about to leave, he says, hey, where are you going? Our game is just coming to the highest point. If you leave now, we'll not play with you tomorrow. Okay, and then Krishna carries on playing. So they're waiting. Then Madhya shows, alright, I have to do this myself. So she leaves the kitchen, she goes out onto the edge of the forest, said, oh Lala, you know, evening is coming. And in the evening, in this part of the forest, there comes the Au Bilau. Oh Maya, what is the Au Bilau? The Au Bilau has big teeth and furry pointed ears. Huh? Oh Maya, can I play with the Au Bilau? No, he has a bag and he puts little boys like you in his bag and takes them away. Is there really such a thing as Au Bilau? Then Madhya Yashoda, he's coming! And she turned around and ran. Krishna was so afraid, he was afraid to even look behind. Oh mother, I'm coming! And then Krishna ran after his mother and came back into the house. Yeah? This is Prem of Braj. Oh lie. She's controlling Krishna by lies. Due to Prem. In Sakyaras also. That is, the same quality is there. The coward boys say, Krishna help us, we're being attacked by a demon. Where? But the demon of hunger is attacking my belly. Actually, they're not hungry. They're thinking Krishna is hungry. So they want to stop the play so that Krishna will taste some delicious things that their mother has made and they've bought from their homes. But they dissimulate that and make it as if we are hungry. It's all deception. Nothing is straightforward in Braj. Everything is pure deception everywhere. And teasing. Also, Krishna came, when he was a little baby, he came onto the bank of Jamuna Brahmanda Ghat. And all his friends were there, they were laughing and clapping. Krishna said, oh, what's funny? Oh, we're not going to tell you. No, tell me. No, we're not going to tell you. No, please tell me. Okay, then one boy said, I'll tell you. We know the truth. We know the secret. What secret? You are not the son of Madhya Yashoda. We know. Krishna laughed. Oh, what are you saying? No, we know the secret. You're not the son of Madhya Yashoda. You see this black tamarind tree? There's a black hole in the black tamarind tree. One day Nanda Maharaj was walking on the bank of the Jamuna and he saw the black tamarind tree and the black hole, and in there was some black crows, and in the middle of the black crows there was a black baby, and it was you. He found you there and he took you home. You can see your mother is fair, your father is fair, you are black, your brother is fair. Balaram, where did you come from? Then Krishna, oh, I'm black. He just noticed. I'm Sham color. And then he began to tremble and cry and he ran home. And instead of going into the house, he was rolling in the dust outside in the courtyard. Wow, wow, wow. Mother Yashoda said, "Oh, don't cry, come here, my son." Krishna looked at him. "I'm not your son." "What? Of course you're my son." No, I know everything. I know about the black tree and the black crows. I heard everything. "I'm not your son. Now I understand everything. You always twist my ear and give me a slap. If I was really your son, then why did you tie me up with ropes? I'll go to the forest and find my real mother." And Yashoda Maya said, "No, you come," and carried him into the house. I swear, she took him into the temple room and keeping one hand on the Shalagram Shila and one hand on Krishna, said, "I swear that you are my son, you came from my womb." And Krishna, he calmed down. "Okay, now I accept that it's true. Mother, why am I Sham? Why am I black? Because we are worshipping our Shalagram Shila and we prayed to Lord Narayan. We want to have a son just like you. So Shalagram Shila is black, so our desire was fulfilled." Then Krishna became happy. In this way, even the Sakas, the friends of Krishna, and Krishna to his Sakas, out of love, they're teasing each other all the time. So the prema nadya tisada olte bahiga, it always manifests in a crooked way, in the opposite way that you will expect. And so chal, deception, apahas, teasing, and sparda, competition. You can see how the boys are always competing with each other. They're competing in swimming, competing in tree climbing, competing in wrestling. So the love is expressed in all this constant competition. In Madhurya Rasa, also, especially all these characteristics of Brajaniti, they express to the fullest and most perfect degree. We see that when Sri Krishna, in the very first Rasa Leela, he went to the forest in the middle of the night and playing his flute, he called all Braj Gopis, and Braj Gopis, forgetting everything, destroying their future completely by transgressing all the laws of Dharma, only to please Krishna. They came there to the forest, and when they got there, Sri Krishna said, "The forest is so beautiful tonight, but now you've seen the beauty of the forest, it's time to go home." Gopis begin to cry, right on the ground with their toes in the dust, and crying, and then quarreling with Krishna. But what is Krishna doing? Teasing. He's lying. He called them, he wants to dance with them. But this prem is such that he's not just accepting them straight. First some teasing, make them cry a little bit, and then afterwards, then Krishna said, "Oh, I was just joking, let's dance." And then they began the Rasa Leela. So this lying, teasing, competing is going on all the time between Sri Krishna and Braj Gopis. It is said in Brajabas, "Prema paat ki sabi bat sabase ke hota hai." It means that prema paat ke sabi bhat, on the path of prem, all the weights. You know, if you go to a shop in the marketplace, you want to buy something, so the merchant has weights, you know, and they're like matroshkas. There's a big one, then a smaller one, then the smaller one, the smaller one, like that. So prema paat ki sabi bat savase ke hota hai. On this path of praying, each one of the weights is a quarter heavier than all of the others. So if a person in the marketplace has the different weights written on the weight than the actual weight, then what is he doing? Cheating. But if the weights, every weight is 1/4 heavier than all of the others, that's not possible. Right? It's not possible, because if this one is quarter heavier than this one, then it cannot be also quarter heavier than this one. But this is the nature of praying. That means that in Braja, all are trying to outdo. Each one is trying to outdo the other one. So prema paat ki sabi bat savase ke hota hai. So we see, if the cowherd boys do Abhishek and establish Krishna as the emperor of Vrindavan, then what do the gopis do? Then they do Abhishek of Radharani, and Radharani is Vrindavaneshwari. If Krishna will make a Shamakund, then he will say, why don't you take bath in my Shamakund? Go say, no. And we'll make Radhakund. And then they make Radhakund. So this is all the Prem Vilas, the play of Prem. When there's no Prem in the heart, then no lying, no teasing, no competing. So this type of lila does not go on in Vaikuntha. They're competing with each other in Vagyudha. That means the war of words. Vadyudha keli kutake brajaraja sunam jitunmadhamadika darpa vikas jalpam fulali ali biranapam adiryamanam stotram kathanubhavatam babalokayasye. Srila Rupa Goswami Pad is saying, oh, when will that day come? When I see Radha and Krishna engaged in a war of words. See, Krishna is sitting in a boat on Manasi Ganga and says, Uchishta tataro mamatarani. Hey, oh beautiful girl, please get into my boat. Uchishta tataro, get into my boat. But this word taro, it can be in the boat or it can be taken to be in the tree. Radhika said, I am just a weak girl, I cannot climb a tree. Krishna said, no. I said tarani, get in my tarani, that which takes you across. Radhika said, what relationship do I have with the sun? Because tarani can mean ferry and tarani can also mean sun. Krishna said, no. Now prasange. I was talking on the topic of now, a boat. Now prasange. But in Sanskrit, now can also mean, it's a dual case. It means us. And pra means very close, so excellent sangha, association. So now prasange means the very intimate union. So when Sri Krishna said, no, now prasange, I was talking about a boat. Radhika said, how dare you? There's no question of that at all. She took now prasange the other meaning. Then Krishna said, he's speechless. When he's speechless, then all the Sakis are clapping. Radhe, 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 Jai, 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 Sri Radhe. Radhe, 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 Jai, 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 Sri Radhe. Oh, Radhe, 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 Jai, 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 Sri Radhe. Radhe, 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 Jai, 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 Sri Radhe. Radhe, 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 Jai, 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 Sri Radhe. Srila Rupa Goswami Pad saying, oh, when will I be there as Rupa Manjari? And at that time, when Srimati Radhika defeats Krishna and makes him speechless in a Vagyuta, the war of words, then we'll all become very proud. And just so that Krishna can feel the real humility of his defeat, we'll all sing in Radhika's victory chorus. Teasing Krishna. Prem this is the Ragatmik Paripati, the nature of Braja Prem, Braja Niti. Srila Vishnu Thakur said, Yatraiva Krishno Vrishabhanu Putra Danam Grihitam Kalaham Vitene Srute Spriya Yatamahatata Sri Govardhano Medishatam Abhishtam. Hey Giraj Govardhan, please fulfill my desire. What is that? When Radhika is taking the ghee on her head to the Jagya of the Shandilya Rishi or Baburi Rishi, or organized by Garacharya, she's going there to give the ghee to the Brahmanas to get blessings from them so she can fulfill her desire. That is the desire to meet with Krishna. But still, then when she meets with Krishna, then suddenly Prema Kalaha, an argument takes place. Oh, stop, you will have to pay a tax. I am the ruler of this place. Oh, who are you? You are not the ruler. This is the forest of Vrindadevi. Vrindadevi is my wife. Really? Vrindadevi, come here. Is that true? Are you his wife? I've never seen this black person before in my life. No, I am in charge here. The gopis say, not at all. You know that Vrindadevi, she's planting so many creepers and flowers and making this like a very beautiful garden. But what are you doing? Just you and your cowherd boys and your millions of cows going everywhere, trampling everything, destroying everything. And in this way, Radha Krishna quarreling, Prema Kalaha. What's Srutes Priya Yatra Mahatpata Sri? The Vedas are called Sruti, that which you must hear. But the Vedas personified themselves in their Deva Roops. They want to hear Radha Krishna's Prema Kalaha. Because that is the prema dhvani, the sound of love. So this competition is going on all the time. If Krishna will steal Gopi's clothes, Gopis will steal Krishna's flute. Holi Lila, at the time of Holi, they're competing. What? How to dye my beloved red from head to toe. This dye means rag, anurag, fresh love. So the purpose of they have like grenades. They're made of very soft lac, full of flower pollen. And so they throw these, and when they hit, they break, and the pollen goes everywhere. So the aim and objective of this Holi is a competition. Or who will dye the beloved's heart first? So all the manjaris are around Radhika trying to protect her when Krishna throws his pollen bomb. Then it's very ecstatic. They try to stop it. But it's a win-win situation. If they don't manage to stop it, then it hits Radhika and she looks so beautiful. And if they do manage to stop it, then they look so beautiful. And they've done seva to Radhika. So this war of Holi is going on. The sky becomes red, everything is red. The tamal trees are red, the kadamba trees are red, the creepers are red, the peacocks are red, the bumblebees are red. Everything becomes dyed in prem. This is a prema spark, a competition of love. Then, when Radha, Krishna and Braj Gopis are all covered with colors, then you have to wash them off. So then they go into the Jamuna, enter into Jamuna. But when they get there, then what happens? Another competition. Jal Kelly, splashing each other. So the love makes the endless walls, endless waves, is expressed in this loving prema kala, quarrel and competition. In Rasalila, if Krishna will sing, Sa-re-ga-ma-pa, Gopis ta-ni-sa. If Krishna will sing in the 5th note, then Gopis will sing in the 7th note. So in this way, always competition is going on. After dancing, they sit down, and see Krishna is playing his flute. Vishakasaki tells one Manjari, hey, Rupa Manjari, bring Radhika's Mahati Veena. Radhika plays on the Veena. Radhika's Veena is called Mahati. So now Radha Krishna sitting together, and all the Braj Gopis sit around them. And they listen to a very beautiful concert. Krishna is expressing the love of his heart through the sound of his flute. All of his sweetness is there. And Radhika's very tender flower bud fingers are moving and playing on the Veena, plucking the strings. She's not plucking the strings of the yantra of the Veena. She's plucking the heartstrings of Sri Krishna. All are listening. Srila Rupa Goswami said, Stambam prapancha tiyasi kipincha mole venor pi pravalayan swarabanga uchai narakshadakshanam avapsati te mahatya Vrindavanesvi samesraman ati titvam. Or when will that day come? When I will be sitting there and beholding the beautiful concert of Radha and Krishna. At that time, Sri Krishna is playing his flute. And then Radhika plays such an expressive note on the Veena. Stambam prapanchayati. Krishna becomes stunned. And when he's stunned, then in music there's something called prapanchayati. It's when one note is held, the same note is held for a long time. So he was playing. So the note, it's meant to go in raga, but there's one note just playing for a long time. Because Krishna is stunned. He cannot move his fingers. So, stambam prapanchati sikipincha mule veno pravalam swarabanga uchai. And then Krishna becomes choked with love. So the sound of the note begins to waver and then it peters out. Because Krishna has been defeated in the competition of prem expressed between his flute singing and Radhika's Veena playing. There, this love is just everywhere. If Radha and Krishna sit down beneath a tree, they look up, they see the parrots in the tree are quarreling with each other. Even the parrots are teasing each other. The male parrots are saying, oh, my Krishna is so great. The female parrots are saying, my Radhika is greater. Like this, they're quarreling with each other. But there's a secret behind this. There's a twist. There's a plot twist in this. That all the glories of Radhika that her parrots are singing to argue with Krishna parrots, those glories of Radhika, from whom did they learn them? Krishna. See, Krishna has taken them alone and he's speaking that how beautiful Radhika is. And Radhika is taking Krishna's parrots alone and telling how beautiful Krishna is. And then when they sit under a tree, they're quarreling with each other. And it seems like this side is against that side, but actually each side was coached by the other side. When Radhika hears her own saris saying, oh, my Radhika is better than Krishna's, she's embarrassed. She thinks, oh, don't come here. No, it's not like that. My Krishna is my Pran. Krishna tells to his brother, no, don't say that. Radhika is everything. I'm only living for her. I take my cows to the forest only for her. I decorate myself only for her. I play my flute only for her. Everything I'm doing for her. They not tell to each other. Not directly. But they speak to the parrots in this way. So in Braj, everything is competing. Yadyapi nimala radha prema sadarpan tatapi swachatatara barikshan man madhurya radha prema duihur kari janekshani bari dohan keha nai hari. Shri Krishna said that my beauty is such that it's at the maximum level of beauty. But Radhika's praying, because her heart is becoming more and more swachata, more and more clear at every moment, she sees that my beauty is increasing at every moment. And then her heart becomes more swachata. So man madhurya radha prema doing hodakari. My sweetness and Radharani's praying, they're having a fight. Competition with each other. Each one is trying to increase and defeat the other one, but no one accepts defeat. So this is the nature of this Braja praying. Lying, teasing, competing. There's something else as well. Always changing. We'll come to that. This is more. Especially in Nikunja. Surata samarberi bankriti putanare jayati Hridaya dangsi kopi bangsi ninadaha. Srila Narad Muni, he said, oh, what is this beautiful sound of Krishna's flute? It is like the beating of kettle drums before a battle. If there's a big battle, then the two armies on each side, they beat their kettle drums first, the war drums. So in the same way, the playing of Sri Krishna's flute in the Rasalila is like the beating of kettle drums before Radha Krishna's battle within the Nikunj, radically. So the wonderful thing about this competition in Vrindavan is mainly Krishna gets defeated in the end. If it's a game that requires strength, like throwing colors, Krishna may win. If it's a game like swinging, Krishna makes the swing go higher and higher until Radhika, she's afraid that she may fall off. When the swing goes up like this, then her skirt fills with air and spreads out like a parachute. She's so embarrassed she has to hold down the skirt. But if she holds down the skirt, she can't hold onto the rope and she'll fall out. So it's catch-22. The only thing she can do is embrace Krishna. So Krishna's won. So sometimes if the games require some strength, some Purush Bhav, like that, then Krishna may sometimes win. At that time, Radharani would say, oh Vishaka, quickly, think of a game we can play that requires some brains so we can dispel this coward boy's pride. So then Vishaka Sakhi would bring the Chaupar. Chaupar for dice game. Because this has some tactics and strategy. Krishna's power and strength will not serve any advantage to him there. So he'll definitely lose. But anyway, whoever loses, they never lose. Why? Because this is the realm of Viruddha Dharma. Everything is opposite. Losing is winning and winning is losing. If Krishna is defeated by Radhika, then he could not be more happy. Na parayam niravajyasamedam svasadu krityam vibudayashapira. Oh Radhika, you have defeated me. I cannot repay you even in millions of lifetimes, even one service that you have rendered to me. So this is the nature of praying. Another characteristic of this Brajaniti is always changing the mood unexpectedly. He said, Nij pranana palota sakti jo dholi ki pan. That means that, there are certain things that you have to change all the time. There's a saying, Pangalai gore arai vidya visare jai chule pe roti jalai Guruji palti nai. Some things you have to change all the time. One, if you have a horse, you can't have a horse standing in one place. You have to run the horse every day. If you don't take the horse running, then after some time you can't get him to go anywhere. If you have a roti, a chapati on the fire, you can't just leave it. You have to keep turning it over. Otherwise you will not cook properly. You have to keep turning. If you are studying, if you're at college and you're studying, you study something else, but you have to go back and revise. Otherwise, if you don't keep going back on the knowledge that you've already studied, keep changing and going back, then you'll forget everything. So this verse is spoken by some students. Oh, and another thing, tambul. If there's a tambul, a beetle seller, he has his stall and he has all the pan leaves on the stall, and he's splashing some water and always moving them around. And the beetle sellers are always rearranging the pan leaves. So a student saying, look, you have to keep moving the pan leaves, you have to keep moving the horse, you have to keep moving the chapati. And so we have to also go back and study Alice. Gurudev, don't go on. Oh teacher, don't go on to the next lesson, we have to go back and revise. This is a famous saying. So gopis are like that. Nija pranana palotata saki jo doli ki pan. That these sakis, they're always changing their activities, behaving one way, and then in the next moment behaving in a different way, the next moment behaving in another way. It's very confusing for Krishna. Just as the pan seller is always moving his leaves around on his stall. When Radha and Krishna were young, and they had fallen in love with each other, then at that time, see Krishna, he's just thinking always of Radhika. He cannot stop thinking about her day and night. When he goes into the forest of Vrindavan, Bibrajat tilaka kalinda thanaya niroga nilambaro danchat kanchana champaka ruchiraho nana rasullasini Krishna prema payodorena rasadena atyanta sammohini Sri Gopendat Vallabha Vijayate Radheva Vrindatavi. When Krishna goes into the forest and he sees the yellow teal flowers, then he remembers the tilak of Radhika. He looks and sees the Jamuna, and the Jamuna is dark blue and waving, and it's as if he's seeing Radhika's cloth waving as she walks, dark blue cloth. Krishna sees the champak vines with golden flowers. It's as if he's seeing the golden shining face of Radhika, and he feels so much ullas, so much joy. When he looks and he sees the waterfalls coming down the mountain of Giriraj Govardhan, it seems to be like a perspiration dripping down the chest of Radhika. Everywhere he's looking, it's as if the whole Dham is Radha's Swarup. So we are discussing the three ways in which one sees Vrindavan. One, Dham Vrindavan, that is Vrindavan is the Udipana, makes Radha Krishna remember their leelas. Then, Saki Vrindavan, Brinda Devi. Then, Swarup Vrindavan. That Vrindavan is the Swarup of whom? When Krishna enters the forest of Vrindavan, he's seeing Radhika everywhere. Tam tam mortis pratilata tarulata digvik dikshus paranti shailushi va brahmati parito natyanti sapaschat. Radhika says, hey Vrinda, where are you coming from? I just came from Hari. Really? Where was he? Oh, he was in a forest on the bank of your Kund. Really? What was he doing? Oh, he's taking dancing lessons. Shri Radhika thinks so. He's meeting with another gopi? Guru kaha? Who's his guru? Don't worry, Radhika. His dancing teacher is your image revealing itself to him in every creeper and flower on the bank of Radhakund. That means when the breeze blows and the creepers are moving gently, then it seems like the arms of Radhika when she's dancing. We just saw a very beautiful dance with the creeper-like arms doing so many mudras. So Krishna is seeing, having this purity of Radhika everywhere in the forest. So Swarup Vrindavan means that for Krishna, Vrindavan becomes, due to the intensity of praying, Radha Swarup. And for Radhika, she sees everywhere Krishna Swarup. And for the Sakhis, they see Radha Krishna Swarup everywhere. So this is Swarup Vrindavan. So this is the third way in perspective on which one can consider Vrindavan Dham. So one day, Sri Krishna went into the forest. He was quite young, he had not met directly with Radhika yet. But he had fallen in love and he's seen Radhika everywhere. So at that time, Radhika is also feeling separation. So she wrote a love letter to Krishna and gave it to a Sakhi. Oh, please deliver this letter. So then the Sakhi came to Krishna and gave the letter to him, and Krishna opened it. And when Krishna saw that this was a letter from that very beautiful daughter of Vrishabhadra Maharaj, in whom he has fallen helplessly in love and can only remember her at every moment, he was so overjoyed. He was so overjoyed that he said, "Oh, this is terrible. I'm a brahmachari. I am very strict in my spiritual life. My friends are always with me. They watch me day and night and they're always looking for faults in me. So, no, I'm sorry. Take it back." He's actually overjoyed. But the nature of this prem is so crooked. He cannot express it. And he hides. Oh, let me tease. I'll tease her. So then when Radhika received the news of, "Oh, Krishna's rejected me," then she wants to give up her life. But after some time, then Krishna, you see, he has one mood, I love Radhika. Then he's acting like I don't love Radhika, this old child, lying, teasing, and changing his mood. Then he changed his mood. Oh, I'll agree to meet with her. So he met with Lalita and Vishaka, and they told him, yes, you can. He went to see Vishaka and said to Vishaka, "I was only testing her. So please, can you arrange with me, for me, to meet with your Sakhi?" Vishaka Sakhi said, "Oh Krishna Chandra, I regret to inform you of this news that actually Abhimanyu, your husband, has decided to move to Mathura, and they've packed up and left Vrindavan and gone to Mathura." Krishna, oh. Why is the sound of the humming bumblebees? Why does it seem as if they're attacking me? Why is the cool moon, which is usually cool, seems to be spitting fire at me? Why is it that the Malaya breeze, which is very fragrant and romantic, seems to be poisoning me? Like poisonous vapors, I'm about to faint. Oh, alas, I cannot live without her. And Krishna fell to his knees. Vishaka Sakhi said, "Oh, be peaceful, I was just joking." Krishna, Durte, Katha tells me, you're teasing me. You Durte means you rascal, you're teasing me. Vishaka Sakhi said, "Oh, it seems that you are remembering your own characteristics." Like this. First Krishna teased Radhika, and the Sakhis are teasing Krishna backwards and forwards. So then Vishaka Sakhi said, "Oh, alright, we'll make an arrangement. I'll bring my Sakhi to the Keshar Kunj. The Kunj of Kesha flowers. You should meet with her there." Krishna, "I agree. I'll meet her in the Kunj of Kesha flowers. Yes, come tonight." So then they separate. And then Lalita and Vishaka, they decorate Radhika beautifully. And now finally she's going to meet with her secret beloved, Sri Krishna. And she's so happy. She goes to the Kunj there, and with the Sakhi she's decorating, making a beautiful arrangement of colorful flowers on the bed inside the Kunj, and making so many other arrangements. There's so many things that they collect there to please Sri Krishna. And in the meantime, Sri Krishna, he's decorated and secretly sneaks out from Nandagaon, and he's going through the forest, and then he meets Padma, the friend of Chandravali. Padma is speaking very sweetly to Sri Krishna, and he invites him, "Come and visit my Sakhi." Krishna thinks, "Well, I set out in good time. I've got some time, I'll visit briefly." So then Krishna went there, but somehow that the time seemed to pass. Sometimes time flies. And the time was passing. And then he realized, oh, I'm going to be very late. In the meantime, Radhika is waiting in the Kesha Kunj. And first she's full of hopes, very high hopes. If a bird is moving in the trees outside, she goes out to see, is Krishna coming? Oh no, he's not here yet. And gradually, her heart is sinking. He's not coming. It's unbearable. Then the mood comes. Yugayitam nameshena chakshusha praprishayita. One moment in separation is like thousands of years. And her heart is broken. And she becomes very upset. How upset? I don't even want to say. But I'll say it indirectly. In the meantime, Krishna realized, oh, I'm really very late. And finally he made his way there, and he came to that kunj, the Kesha Kunj. But Radhika was gone. How upset was she? See, Krishna looked at the kunj. There was a beautiful bed of flowers, but it had been scattered here and there. There were ornaments, necklaces and bangles and rings all over the floor, scattered here and there. Why? Because Radhika decorates herself only for Krishna's happiness. If he doesn't come, then these ornaments feel like flames of a fire burning her. And she throws off, breaks her necklaces and throws them. So when Sri Krishna comes, he can see indirectly through the udipana of the kunj, the extreme anguish of separation that Radhika went through before she left. Sri Krishna sees on the table there one chasaka. Chasaka means a goblet full of honey wine. Radhika has thought of everything. Krishna will come, we'll speak, we'll play, we'll drink something. They become intoxicated. Ha king kim dadarani gugugur nitayam dat datavati baba vriksh kunjam. Krishna said, well, drink some more. Radhika's why is the world spinning around, Krishna? Help me. Why are the trees running away? I cannot live. Save me. And she embraces Krishna. So she was dreaming about what beautiful pastimes I have together. So she had collected the honey wine there, and it was there, waiting on the table, abandoned. So Krishna, just by seeing the udipana, all the objects there in the kunj, he could understand the highest asha, the aspirations of Radhika to serve and please him. But he spoiled everything. And now he's in big trouble. So then Krishna's thinking, what can I do? How will I get out of this? So then he came out of that kunj. And then he went to one place in the forest where there is Nagakeshar, one type of flower called Nagakeshar, shaped like a snake, with some stamen and some honey dripping from it. And Krishna very carefully, he picked so many Nagakeshar flowers, big bunch of beautiful Nagakeshar flowers, and took them in his hand. And then he was searching, following the footprints. And he came to that place where Radhika was with her Sakhis. Why did Sri Krishna pick the Nagakeshar flowers? Because Radhika's Sakhis had told him, we'll meet together in a Kesha Kunj. So that Kesha Kunj is one type of bakul. Radhika was waiting in a bakula Kunj, which is also known as Kesha. So Krishna thought, if I go and pick lots of flowers from the Nagakesha Kunj, then I'll say that when you said I'll meet you in the Kesha Kunj, I thought you meant Nagakesha, not Bakul. And I'll show up there and I'll have my bona fide excuse, I'll have my evidence, my alibi, my legitimate excuse that it wasn't just a retrograde Mercury. Right? It was just a misunderstanding. You said Kesha Kunj, I thought you meant Nagakesha Kunj. I didn't know you meant Bakul Kunj. So Krishna's so cunning. So he's picked all of these flowers and now he'll show up pretending like all upset. Where were you? I was waiting for you the whole night. This is Brajaniti. Everyone lying. lying, cheating, teasing. So Radhika ordinarily should be very pleased to see Krishna. But when Krishna was approaching the Kunj, where Radhika was there with Lalita and Vishaka, with this big bunch of Nagkesha flowers, then Lalita Sakhi said to Radhika, Krishna is coming. Ignore him. Become like a Swarna Murti. Become like a golden statue. Because a golden statue is what? Very hard and cold and emotionless. So Vishaka started telling her, Radhika, be very hard. So this is a wonderful thing. That whatever the Sakhis say, Radhika is doing that. Because this is one of the 25 qualities of Radhika. Gurva Pita Guru Sneha Sakhi Pranayata Vasha. Sakhi Pranayata Vasha. Radhika is, though she's the Yuteshwari, she's the group leader, but she's controlled by her Sakhis. Unless Krishna can get on the right side of Lalita, Vishaka, Tunga Vidya and others, he can't get to Radhika because she'll do what her Sakhis say because she's controlled by their Prem. So if Lalita will say, be harsh, then she'll become cold with Krishna. If Lalita will say, now become soft with him, then she'll become soft with him. It's a very wonderful thing. So, Nij Prana Palota Sakhi, Jo Doli Ki Pan. Just like the pan seller is changing the moods. So the Sakhis, they're changing their moods. And those Sakhis whose moods are changing, they're telling Radhika, and Radhika is changing the mood according to the instruction of her Sakhis. Very beautiful. So then, Krishna, he came up there with all of his flowers from the Nagkesha Kunj. Oh, Lalita! Well done, well done. I see that you are the great Guru. You are the Mahanta Guru in giving bad advice. And you have initiated me. You have given me Diksha into the yajna of an all-night vigil. That means you initiated me into the austerity of staying awake the whole night. The whole night I was awake because of you. I was right there in the Nagkesha Kunj. And look at these flowers. Just look at them. Even the flowers were feeling sorry for me. When I was waiting there the whole night, just look at them. You see this honey dripping from the flowers? That's their tears. That's their tears of sympathy for me. Krishna's a complete liar. But why is he lying? Prem. If he doesn't lie, what's the alternative? He'll be in such big trouble. Radhika will not accept him. So he has to come up with some feasible excuse. Lalita says, wow. What treachery? What treachery are you doing? You did not show up until after the cockerel had crowed. The night was over and the cockerel crowed. That's when you showed up. And in the meantime, my Sakhi was waiting there for you. In the Kesha Kunj. Yes, Bakul Kunj. Bakul Kesha Kunj. Don't pretend that you thought Nag Kesha in the Bakul Kesha Kunj. She was waiting for you and every moment seemed like 1,000 years. See, Krishna, what? You don't feel sorry for me at all? This was a genuine misunderstanding. I cannot tolerate this. Now I know that the saying is true. If a beautiful girl has very curved eyebrows, her heart is also crooked. Oh, and I'm not quarreling with you. There's no fault, Krishna. There's no fault in you at all. There's no fault. The fault is in me that I'm trying to make a friendship with persons who are so critical. Right? That's the problem in your life, right? You try to be friendly with someone who's very critical. It's your own fault. Just stay away. So Krishna said, no, you're not at fault. It's my fault. Then I'm trying to make friends with these critical people. Then Lalita becomes furious. What is this? Rupa Goswami said, Radama pi prapachate kritamat vajena kutam managapi vilokya vilodakshim vagbangi bistvam chirena vilajantim devim gunai sulalitam lalitam namami. If Sri Krishna will come and meet with Radharani and he'll say something and Lalita Sakhi can detect that he's lying. There's something wrong here. Why? Shakespeare said, methinks she doth protest too much. Right? So Lalita is like seeing Krishna. Don't you feel any sympathy? The whole night I was waiting, even the flowers from the Kunja are weeping for me. Lalita's thinking, Kutam tam managapi. If she sees even a slight crookedness in Krishna's words, then Achirain Vilajyanti, she'll speak in such a way that Krishna becomes completely embarrassed. Yes, yes, we know what a faithful lover you are. You don't have to tell us. So then see Krishna, he said, I give up. I can't argue with you. So then Lalita Sakhi saw that Krishna actually is so tired. He has been awake the whole night, now he's very tired, he has no strength to argue. So then Lalita, she whispered in the ear of Radhika, oh Radhika, he's very tired, be gentle with him. No? Nija prana palotasi sakhi, jo doli ki pan, just like the beetle fella, he's always moving his beetle leaves. Now on the order of Radhika, on the order of Lalita Sakhi, first Radhika became hard, and now Radhika became soft. So Krishna said, look, let my labor in picking all of these Nagkesha flowers not go in vain. It was my aspiration that these flowers would decorate you, Radhika. So then he took them, and Radhika opened her cloth like this and spread out her cloth, and see Krishna, he began to put the Nagkesha flowers into the cloth of Radhika, and just as he was putting the Nagkesha flowers there, Radhika looked at him. She glanced, because before she was in Mana, not looking, now she just glanced at him. Very sweetly, with a sweet loving glance. Before the glance is like anger, like an arrow. And now it's become very sweet loving glance. And as Sri Krishna putting the flowers into the cloth of Radhika, he becomes completely vimohit, bewildered. And he did not notice that he accidentally put his flute there as well. And Radhika's not saying anything. Later in the chakra, did you see that? Yeah, Radhika's stolen his flute. I don't believe it. Even the coward boys of Krishna, they cannot steal his flute when Krishna's asleep. And now Krishna being awake right in front of his eyes, Radhika's stolen his flute. So then Radhika becomes very soft, and Radha and Krishna meet, they're playing together. After a little time, then Sri Krishna notices, where's my flute? Hey, where's my flute? Please give it back. Then it becomes an excuse. Who has it? Do you have it? No, Gopi said, oh, she has it. Why? Because though they always protect each other from Krishna, but they're always changing their moods, so sometimes they betray each other as well. Oh, she's got the flute, then Krishna has to come and do search, body search of that Gopi. Oh, it's not here, then another Gopi, oh, she has it. So they're giving Krishna the run around. So then Krishna said, please, return my flute. Abradhi Rani De Daru Bangsi Mori Do Bangsi Mori Pranavasata Hai Sog Bangsi Gai Chori Abradhi Rani De Daru Bangsi Mori. Oh Radhika, please return my flute. Why? Because my pran is living there in that flute. I cannot live without my flute. Kaisi mein gao Radhe, kaisi bajao, kaisi milau gaya geri. Ab Radhe Rani, de daru bansuri mori. How will I sing? How will I play? How will I collect all my cows together? Oh Krishna, you can sing with your mouth. You can play with your clapping your hands. You can collect your cows together with lakuti. Lakuti say gayageri. With your stick you can collect your cows. What is this? Teasing. Teasing him. Because Krishna is not saying why he needs the flute. Why does he really need the flute? He's not thinking about cows or he's thinking about for calling Braja Gopis. So Gopis are saying, hey, don't worry, you can call the cows with your, you can collect the cows with your stick. You can sing with your mouth, you can clap with your hands. Why do you need this piece of bamboo? Your father is a king. He's a very wealthy man. Why are you crying over this little piece of wood? There's so many pieces of bamboo in the forest. Don't become upset. So they're teasing teasing Krishna. This is all the Prem Vilas, the Brajaniti. After their very sweet pastimes together, then Krishna is leaving. And as he's leaving, he's thinking to himself, this daughter of Prashumana Maharaj is so amazing. Mudram dayamayim kshanam vitanute taralya lakshmin kshanam sopeksham shanam atanoti banitiya outsokya bhajakshanam Shudham dristim itakshanam pranayate prankat katakshakshanam roshena pranayena chakulitadi radha dvida bidjate. As Krishna is leaving after meeting with Radhika, he's thinking to himself, one moment, this Radhika, mudram daryamayim kshanam, in one moment, she's very calm and very patient. She has the patience of a sage, like a rishi. Then the next moment, Taralya Lakshmin Shanam, she's completely fickle and restless, like a teenage girl. Sopek Shansanam, Atanoti. One moment, Radhika, she's completely against me, she's ignoring me. And then the next moment, she wants to talk. She wants to say express so many things to me. One moment, Radhika looks at me with Shuddham Dristim Itakshanam. In one moment, she looks towards me with a very pure and sweet eyes. And then the next moment, Pranayate Prinkat Katakshakshanam. She looks at me with such a glance which is so seductive, so provocative, so full of calm, so full of amorous desire. She's changing all the time. So I think that Roshina Pranayena Chakulitadhi, in the anxiety of love, which is producing these contradictory moods, sometimes being very affectionate and sometimes having loving anger towards me. It seems that the Radhika has been split into two. There are two Radhikas, and when I meet with her, I never know which one I'm going to get. This is Sri Krishna's fascination with Radhika. It seems the heart of Radhika, there are actually two Radhikas living in one body, and which one I'm going to get at any moment, any given moment, I don't know. It's amazing. For a male person, it's very difficult to understand. So Krishna's returning and thinking, oh, the wonder of Srimati Radhika. He's amazed. So this is the nature of ras we were discussing this morning. Rasai saras chamatkaro yambina na raso rasaha. The nature of ras is chamatkar. Wonderment, astonishment. If the wonderment is not there, it is not rasa. So in this way, the heart of Krishna himself is overflowing and filled with wonder at the Brajaniti of Radhika. Always hiding her mood, showing something else, teasing him, competing with him, and changing. So that changing also means changing completely in such a way that she's not lying, she's not teasing, and she's not competing. Also as well. That's when she becomes in the full pranay with Sri Krishna. Now they become like one heart with two bodies in Nikunja Lila. This is the Brajaniti. If Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had not empowered Srila Rupa Goswami to express these things by his poetry, no one would have ever realized it. Sri Vrindavana Dhama ki jai, Sachinandan Gohari ki jai, Srila Rupa Goswami Pada ki jai, Bale Vrindavan Bihari Lala ki jai.